What were you doing? You were eating something? Yanko versus a woodchuck. Watch out, buddy. You are now watching Farming with Duffy Ag. Welcome back to the channel. Still got the R model, we still got the Dream. I got a box of grease that I actually never took out last week. So, a lot to figure out this week I got going on. Yeah, and it's not just, well, the money side's a big part of it. So, a lot of that to figure out. But, yeah, so I guess I'll keep you guys informed as far as what goes on where. Yeah, we got some equipment that we could farm out in Iowa with. No matter what, we're gonna go farming next year. So it's just where I end up and how I do it. So, well, we're gonna be farming next year. Farming is what I want to do for the rest of my life. That's really where it is. Farm, equipment, wrenching. Yeah. Someday I'll up my, well, yeah. We'll have a fleet of our models, maybe some super liners. I like the old stuff. I like the old stuff a lot. So, yes, I got an 8-row planter that, hey, I could go plant corn with it. And somebody just wrote, I'm reading the comments there, like they plant their sweet corn gardens with the 8-row. But I think out there, to get going, so there is two 12 rows at the farm. One's a front fold, one's a straight 12. They need all the work like I did on this. So openers, gauge wheels, closers. So running an 8-row with an 8-row combine head would kind of be ideal. That's what I'm thinking. So if that comes down to it, but yeah, I got a lot to think about. But what we need to do, well, this thing's looking killer. Actually, I guess what I didn't do first, we will go see. So I got some work to do on that. We got to do all the oil. So transmission, rear ends, and then we do have to dive into this. I do have to get this ready for corn. Well, it's been 4 days, and it hasn't lost any pressure. So, tire jet, even though it's not labeled for tube tires, it works in tube tires. Whew. So, let's dive into this. I got gear oil, we got a grease, and maybe we'll pop the hood, do some things. I do want to take the front brake cans off and the shocks off, and we're gonna get a set of those for the front because that's good. Right here, I still got to figure it out. People bring it up, you got to do that. I agree. I got to figure out what I'm doing. But this black, look at the pollen that came in on it. Cleaning up the tanks looked really, really good. I'm happy. I'm really happy. Yes, I could keep painting on stuff, but I think that's good for now. I really do. So, alrighty. Appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate all the comments, all the support, all the advice. Yeah, I appreciate it all. So, let's dive into today. Yanko versus a woodchuck. Watch out, buddy. So, I'm laying underneath the truck doing an oil change on the rear end there, and sure enough, Yanko's out here barking. Yeah, I know I need a haircut. Barbers are, well, good barbers are way out, and I got one Tuesday, so today's Sunday. And Yanko's barking, so I know he's got something. So I crawled back out. He had that woodchuck cornered on the pile, and Yanko's like 12-0 on woodchucks. So
So he battled it out with them. Thing is, I'm not going to show any of that stuff ever, because that's how you get demonetized, shadow banned, and lose all of whatchamacallit, monetization. There's a dead woodchuck over there, though. I'll tell you what. Groundhog or woodchuck, whatever you call it, wherever you're from. I usually call it a woodchuck or a groundhog. 50-50, I'd say. So I got a hell of a dog. He does love hunting things, geese, raccoons. That one time with the skunk. Yeah, his head doesn't smell like a skunk any longer, but he did smell for a while. Hey, what are you, 12-0 with woodchucks? You had the one that would taunt you last year, 2 years ago, when he would taunt you. You would be you'd run to one hole and he'd run in, and then he'd pop up in another hole, and then he'd tease you and pop back down. You're a good boy, though. I missed you. Did you miss me? You missed me? Because I missed you. So don't let me get you wrong. Like, he's a sweetheart. He loves kids. Kids can pull on his tail. He's all good like that. When it comes to varmints and things like that, he knows. Gotta keep him in line, otherwise we end up in bad spots, and groundhogs around here and everything else. But yeah, he used to chase chickens, and well, he doesn't do that any longer. He used to have a shock collar, and he had it just so I could beep it, so he stopped jumping on people when he would meet them. And he came out of a chicken coop once and had a full chicken in his mouth, and it was still alive. And well, he doesn't chase chickens any longer. He only chases cats if he thinks it's a game, and he wants to meet every dog, and he acts like a kind of a jerk until he meets them, and then he's like, okay, never mind, I'm done. But, alrighty, I got both compartments here. The actual diff, and then the gearbox, or whatever you want to call it, up on the top. Somebody will say a good name of what it is. So they're drained out, and fluid looked good. Nothing stuck to the magnets, so that's good. Everything opened up. I gotta just fill everything back up. Back axle is all good, so we're looking good there. Front axle, got it all drained out. There's 3 ports up there. Front axle breather, mint, like brand new mint, which was kind of wild. Rear axle, where all the oil was going. Yeah, and what the breather does is let, well, pressure go in and out as heat. So that one is completely full of stuff. We'll clean it out, make sure it works, throw it back on, because that will blow seals out. Well, it's not completely plugged, but it's pretty well plugged. The seals didn't blow out because of that, though. The seals blew out because they sat. And I think one was leaking from the go. So, alrighty, I'll clean this up, put oil in the front, grease the rears, and then we just gotta drain the transmission. Rears are all done, everything's greased. Up to this point. Transmission time. Yeah. Let me climb underneath there. So we got the drain plug there. This one only has just the one case. So we got a drain plug right here. Then you got your fill. Well, you got a fill plug here. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's your fill plug. That's your drain plug. And yeah. Previously when I said about a Mack transmission, a bunch of people sent me more Chelsea side ones. There's a Mack one that goes right on here. I got it on my 10-wheeler. I've thought about just switching it off the 10-wheeler, putting this one on, but I don't know. So let me drain that. We're gonna pop the hood and do some little work in between, but air vents are good. Everything is greased as far as the brakes, the drive shafts. Yeah. This has the front, this front housing has the bearings and everything else in it. So that is filled, both tops.
Everything looked really good, actually. It was used clearly, but really good. So freaking gaining. It's always the thing. Just keep moving. It is a Sunday, and I got a lot on my plate, so I'm just thinking about things as I'm doing stuff. Not the end of the world, but okay. Alrighty, let me drain this out and then see if we can do it without making a mess. Gear oil is always, it sticks with you. Did I change this? This looks like it was changed. It doesn't hurt to flush it out, make sure everything's good. That way I know the whole truck service. I'm also going to change the oil. Yeah, this is definitely, that was in really good shape. Had to break out my Milwaukee grease gun that I picked up the other day on clearance, or on discount. And you know it's a bad Sunday when you got your tap and die kit out, because you got grease fittings that rip the threads out and you gotta go to a different size. But everything's greased on the transmission. Got front end, and we got some work to do up front here. Get the hood open and see what else we get into here. It's amazing how time suck can get you going. So change the filters, oil. I gotta take these off. We'll get new service cans on the front. That's what comes on them, and new springs. And then I just gotta grease the front. But I came over here and well, I was just looking at this pump, if you know what I mean. But it's cool that it was made by American Bosch in Springfield, Massachusetts. So that's pretty friggin' wild. I do got a little damp, like an little oil damp, and I don't know if it's the pump or if we got something just leaking. Maybe the hose going to the compressor. So at some point we gotta clean all that up and then see if we can see that. What I do have to do before we take this truck on any adventures, these fuel lines, so this, these, and this air line coming up to here, probably change them all out. They're just been sitting a while. Those are the only lines that really worry me. Otherwise this truck really doesn't have much, so it's pretty sweet on that. But we might go take this for a ride now that we checked this pump out. And you know, don't have anything on it, but yeah, I'll take all that stuff off, but I'll get it fired up. I'll check everything over. What were you doing? You were eating something? You want to go for a ride real quick? What up? You a good boy? You smell like you've been eating something dead. Just taking it for a ride, see what's up. We've done all this work and we really haven't messed around with it, and we got to tighten the lug nuts again before we put any caps on. Just out for a little cruise. So these 300s with the twin tip turbines, oh yeah, the farm's working on their chopper. They're gonna go all out with it and chop. So they've been doing that for a few weeks now, working on it. So I'm not too worried. Everybody's saying, oh, they'll have you chop corn. They'll realize I'm done here. So. up a little bit. Just a little, relax. We ain't gonna stretch nothing. I'm the only one that drives this anyways nowadays. We got the EGTs, I'm watching that. And granted, we're not loaded or nothing, but I figured I'll take it out too, just see that. But it just needed a little more pep in its step. I'm not trying to make a ton of horsepower out of it, but pulling some hills, it just needed a little bit more. I got something that's leaking air. Pull in here, just look at everything. I do got something that's leaking air, so maybe I got something up wrong here. And now that that air valve actually works right, maybe I got some problem there. It's not leaking now. Alrighty. I do think I got, oh, I got my blinker still on. I do think I got something that I can mess around with or whatnot, but yeah. Holding here up at the top of the hill, just make sure we ain't leaking nothing. Ain't nothing falling apart. Nothing smoking. We got the little oil from earlier. Yeah, we need to redo this whole back. That's on my list. I think I'm gonna do a drop down and clean it up, make it nice. Pink Jeep. That's cool. Cool. Alrighty, we'll bring it back. Pull those shocks and the cans off. And that's gonna probably do it for tonight. I gotta do some thinking and some office work, and it's already late. You coming? I probably could have went more with the pump, to be honest. But we gotta put a load on it and really see how it runs with that. I'm not here to blow up a motor, but as I said, I just want a little bit more oomph to it. We got all the oil pressure. The red gauges do it. We'll get whatever the air leak. Oh, I never shut my window. I shut the other side. You shut your side? Where'd you get that big tennis ball from? It's like abnormally big. It's like almost a softball size. So pop this open. We gotta get one of the shocks off, and we gotta whatchamacallit, get one of the brake cans off. The brake can should be standard brake can, but it's always good to bring it with you. This came out really nice, that red across, but when I popped the hood up, I'm like, holy smokes, I do have to buff this thing. We'll go long way, little bulldog, right? Okay, so take the line off, get the pin out, hopefully take the can off. That is the plan. Bottom one comes off, it moves. The top one, it's on there pretty good. So I've got my pickle fork set.
Somebody previously said, you need one. I said, I have one. I just didn't think about using it for that. So, alrighty. Tap that, pop that off. I'm amazed that those nuts and bolts came off the way they did, but this truck was taken care of. It just needs some love. Little stuff. Lots of little stuff. I pushed it in a little bit, and well, you guys will see in a minute. So this is supposed to cushion the ride a little bit. It's supposed to spring back out. Like, that's supposed to be so much longer. That might make it a little bit smoother. The truck ride's pretty smooth, I'll give them credit. But as I've said previously, this is a single frame, 38 rears. This ain't a heavy spec truck, not the 56s that, I think the other ones are 56s or 52s on the 10-wheeler. And that ride's horrible unless you're loaded. So, that's sweet. Alrighty, next thing. Oh, so much for we're gonna be done early tonight. It is almost 9 o'clock. But this bottom bolt that was on this fought me the whole time. So I got it held down on the S-cam. Ah, there we go. So yeah, this thing's pretty well junk. So, alrighty, we'll take that, put the pin back through it, and we'll take the spring, and we're gonna get out of here. I think I'm gonna give you guys a rundown of what exactly is going on, because I'm reading some of the comments and people in the videos are going back explaining some or asking more comments. So I'll give you a rundown of that, of what I'm thinking and everything else, because some people are like, do it. Some people are like, oh no, that's the worst thing you can ever do. You make no money. So, alrighty, let's windows up. Yep, let's go. Well, what time is it? 9:54. I actually did go and get dinner. I do eat out way too much while I get to go. Way too. Pretty sure Yanko just. Pretty sure he just farted in my bed. Where are you at? He's over today. He's had a long day. Battled that Groundhog, Woodchuck, whatever you want to call it. But I did go grab a steak. They're open till 10 on Sundays, where everybody else other than Domino's closes at. Domino's is open till 12 or 1. And everybody else closes at like 8 or 9. So when I got done working and it was 9 o'clock, it is what it is. So I got home, took a shower because my hand, go in the gas station and everybody's like, what's wrong with your face? Covered in grease on one side, didn't even think about it. So, grabbed that, I came back here. I'm going through the comments and everything else, and there's a ton of really, really good comments, good ideas. I did not show you guys the full facility because it is not mine to showcase things like that, since I have not agreed on anything or anything else like that. So I figured it wasn't my place to wander through somebody else's operation and showcase it. The facilities need work as far as like raccoons got into them, but I'm pretty amazed by them. It goes back to trees. So the trees overgrew everything, and the trees are everywhere. But they grow extremely fast out there, which is wild. So a week with a chainsaw and a skid steer, and he has grapples, he has tree grabs, everything else like that, could really do good for that. And then a dumpster, and then some sweat equity as far as cleaning things. A lot, I see comments that are, well, you're just gonna clean it up and what happens after that? Well, if I did a 10-year lease on the property and the facilities, that's why the vocabulary, the wording, and figuring out what works best for both the landowner and myself. I'm trying to word this properly. So, there's comments that say, well, why isn't he doing it himself? You get to an age in your body, you can only run so far. And if you're having health issues as far as like back problems, shoulder problems, knee problems, stuff like that, you can't you can't work all day long doing one thing and then come home and expect to do something else and keep up with it. If you're not running the facilities and you're not utilizing the facilities at the same time, stuff goes by the wayside. So track equipment and the actual facilities themselves. Everybody I sent videos to of the facilities, as far as my close friends that a few of them, and they've been on the channel and stuff like that, have started out and went farming for themselves. And they've gone through the good, the bad, the ugly. And I appreciate all of their expertise as far as, hey, do this, hey, do that. I would say 80% of the stuff that I showed them, everybody mutually agreed that is awesome. It's going to take some work, but that is awesome. So there's the doubts and things like that, because I have a lot of friends that have got burned by family, by landowners, by friends, by everything. So there's a lot to be said with that. It's just a huge decision. And somebody literally hit the nail on the head right now. I could make it work, but I really have to line up with a bank, with a lender, for $500,000 of operating loan. That's the biggest thing. Somebody's like, you don't have equipment, you don't have this, you don't have that, you can't do it. Hire people in to do custom. I'm not opposed to hiring people in to do custom, but I was doing the math. So somebody was like, I think it was Ditter, who loaded the disc a while back and has a 7520. And actually, we were joking around. He goes, you know, if I move out to Iowa with my 7520 and I move in with you and we go farming together, what are we going to call a channel? And I said, farming with double D's, Duffy and Ditter. So I don't think he's ever gonna. He's got quite the setup. We've been to his place, so go back, watch previous videos. So I'm sitting here. Let's say it's 500 acres. I'm not gonna say how much it actually is. Not at this point. So 500 acres, have somebody come in and do custom spraying. What's custom spraying? $40, $45 an acre. So $40 an acre, 20,000. Okay, 20,000 is not that bad at the end of the day. But if you're going to look at this long term for, let's say 5 years, you're at 100,000. So yeah, some of it, chemical costs, things like that, getting your license, stuff like that. But if they're doing one pass, if they're doing 2 passes, affording equipment at that point really isn't that bad. Same with having somebody come in and combine it. Yes, time is money, but at the end of the day, this is a whole business as far as farming and YouTube. 2 different businesses. And I will admit right now, YouTube is going to help me, myself, keep moving along. It's not going to supplement the farm, but it would keep the lights on and keep my own personal life going. But I don't want to go bankrupt farming either, so there's a lot to be said. And I'm rambling quite a bit, but it seems like when I ramble, you guys put a lot of good comments in and give me past experiences or life experiences, and we knock it out of the park at that point. Then we're all on the same page. Everybody understands what I'm thinking, and you guys can comment, and I can understand what people are thinking. And I get thumbs up or thumbs down a lot, so don't forget thumbs up on videos. So I should probably start editing video. It's 10 o'clock. I gotta eat dinner. Probably got 2 hours ahead of me. And I got quite a bit. I am actually amazed at how many people watch the channel that are from that area. From either Minnesota, Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, the Dakotas, Kansas, Missouri. That watch and have commented on, hey, I know what you're going through, or I'll give me a hand. Somebody commented that they're from Minnesota and they do land clearing and fence building, and said they would love to help me out. Stuff like that goes, I definitely am in the wrong area. Somebody did write today, being Sunday, that I was born too late to farm in New England. 1800s was when farming in New England was right. And you're exactly right. There was farms everywhere. So they had 3 cows, but there was farms everywhere. So Iowa really appeals to me, and this situation really appeals to me. I can't share everything because of how I feel as far as sharing stuff that is not mine to share yet. But the potential is huge, like absolutely huge. I just got to make sure none of us get screwed between me, the landowner, and well, you guys watching. So, alrighty, I'm gonna edit some video. I'm gonna eat dinner. I'm gonna keep working on my layout here that I'm looking at. It's wild. So, appreciate you guys watching. If you made it this far, give the video a thumbs up, drop a comment, tell me what I'm doing right, wrong. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. So, it's yeah, you guys have been really, really good as far as the support, and well, this whole opportunity came from YouTube. So the farmer watches the channel, so it's all part of it, and that's how it all came out of it. And yes, I am looking for an opportunity to go elsewhere, and I have other opportunities, none that stand out and jump out as much as this one. That is why I really haven't shared the other ones, but yeah, it's just a lot to do. So appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Sorry about all the rambling, but let me know your thoughts. Have a good one.